Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. The past 12 months have been truly crazy for me. My channel turned 12 years old, so it's nearly a teenager. And on top of all that, I got a once-in-a-lifetime chance to team up with the Call of Duty League and celebrate all the crazy pro COD matches that have been going on this year by co-streaming them on my channel with you guys. It really has been an amazing year. It's been an incredible experience throughout, and unfortunately, it's now time to say goodbye. You know, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and this is it. This is the curtain call, this is the ether, the infinite, the reality beyond.
Now wait a second, buddy! You're not ending your YouTube channel, are you?
No, silly. It's the CDL regular season that's ending, not my YouTube channel, and that means that this weekend, playoffs are happening, and the CDL have given me permission to co-stream the climax of it all, the finals themselves, on Championship Sunday, which should be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. However, I'm sure many of you guys don't know anything about the CDL. You've lost track of what the hell's going on in it. You don't recognize the new pros, the new teams, or anything. And believe me, I know exactly how that feels because, I mean, I'm relatively new to CDL stuff as well. You're not alone there, and I've still got a huge amount to learn too, but we can maybe do a little bit of learning together today because what I've done is I've put together basically a no-nonsense guide to COD Champs in 2021. And the goal is that by watching this video, you can then jump into my stream on a Sunday when we're watching the finals and you'll actually know the story so far. You'll have the kind of context and you'll be able to root along for your favorite team or whatever alongside me. So buckle up, everybody, grab your popcorn. It's no-nonsense time. The CDL this year has featured 12 teams, each of which is tied to its own home city. So you've got the LA Thieves in LA, obviously, and you've got Atlanta FaZe, for instance, in Georgia. The full season was split into 5 sections, and each of those sections started with a group stage and finished with a major tournament. There was prize money on the line at every single major, but that wasn't all. The kind of more important thing in the grand scheme of things was the points that you could earn in the stages and at the majors towards your overall CDL league standings. Fast forward to today, and all those group stages and majors are already done now, so we know the league standings for the year, and the top 8 teams from those standings get to go on to playoffs this weekend and compete to try and earn a spot in the championship final, which we'll be watching. It's that final that has the biggest payout of everything so far. It's a $1.2 million pot for the winner, so the stakes are pretty damn high. So that's the basic structure of how everything works. Now let's talk about the narratives that have actually weaved their way through all the stages and majors to bring us to where we are today. The year started with everyone playing online due to the panoramic, and everyone expected Atlanta FaZe to do especially well compared to the other teams because their roster was just stacked. They have really talented players. And this expectation came true. They did not disappoint, and they won every single one of their games in that initial group stage. And then they went on to the major, continued their dominance, and beat out Dallas Empire in the finals to become the Major 1 champions. Q Stage 2. At this point, all the other teams had obviously taken notice of FaZe being so dominant and decided to try and switch things up to find a formula to beat them. Not only did teams start to develop and try new strats, but they also changed their rosters around. And one of the most successful roster swaps at the time was on Toronto Ultra. They decided to bench one of their stronger players, and in his place, Insight was added to the team. And this had an immediate positive impact for the team. They got knocked to losers bracket in the major, but that didn't faze them at all, no pun intended, and they battled all the way through the losers bracket, met up with FaZe, this crazy dominant team, in the finals, and beat them to become the Major 2 champions. And also kind of posing the question, maybe these guys are actually the best team in the league and it's not FaZe. Enter Stage 3. FaZe instantly started to pull themselves back together and try and get revenge for their loss in that previous major final. But a kind of unexpected twist happened when a new French player called Hydra joined the New York Subliners. Up to this point, NYSL, that's the Subliners, hadn't really found their feet, but as soon as Hydra joined, it was lights out play from that moment forward. They were playing like a totally different team, and FaZe's only loss in the group stage of Stage 3 was to NYSL with Hydra, and it was in his debut game. NYSL carried this momentum all the way through into the major, where they beat FaZe again. FaZe got knocked to losers bracket, and then they did what Ultra did in the previous tournament. They fought tooth and nail through the losers bracket, and then met back up with NYSL in the final, and used that experience of this being done to them in the previous major to do it to NYSL and take the major home. They became the Major 3 champions. champions. Onwards to stage 4. One of the biggest changes in this stage of the season was that the players were back on LAN, which was huge for anyone that was struggling a little bit with playing online, connection issues, that sort of thing. And in particular, it was Dallas Empire that made the most of this. They had struggled a little bit since their finals run in Major 1, where they got beaten by FaZe, but now they looked totally refreshed, and they made their way to the finals once again, and who do you think they were playing against? Yep, it was FaZe once more. Now, this final was unlike anything we'd seen before in CDL history because it went to a Game 9 and was absolutely down to the wire through the entire thing. It was unbelievably close. But ultimately, FaZe used their experience of winning Majors 1 and 3 to do it again here, and they won Major 4. Now, at this point, it might seem like FaZe are just an unstoppable dynasty. Like, they are absolutely in their prime, and they're just going to sweep everything, including Stage 5. But in a beautiful twist of fate, you'd be absolutely wrong if you thought that, because Stage 5 was full of shock results. Let's talk Stage 5. Setting the scene, this was it, right? This was the last chance for players to earn points towards their overall CDL league standings. And to add to that pressure, fans were now able to attend in venue to watch the players play for the major. It's one thing playing COD online in the comfort of your own home, very familiar territory, but having a crazy crowd in front of you cheering you on or booing you potentially obviously makes a huge difference to the mental game of the players, especially those that are less experienced. And this instantly became obvious when the major started, because FaZe lost to Minnesota Rocker, and then they lost again in the losers bracket to Seattle Surge, and they were out. This dynasty that people had been talking about was suddenly no more. They weren't even a contender for the finals. You might think, okay, well, that means the Toronto Ultra would probably be the favorites, right? Like, they won Major 2, they'd probably win again here. Or maybe Dallas Empire, they were starting to show some strength when they were playing on LAN. Maybe this will be the one for them. But both of those teams got beaten by Minnesota Rocker in an unbelievable series of upsets. And that left Rocket in the finals and the other teams battling it out in losers. The one that emerged from losers was Toronto Ultra. They weren't going to give up that easily. And as soon as the actual finals started, it looked like Ultra were just going to mop the floor with Rocket. Like, Rocket just did not have that experience of being in a major final this year, and Ultra capitalized on that and went 4-0 up. And that's in a best of 9, so it's basically first team to get to 5 wins. At this point, pressure's on. So Rocket's down 4-0. If they lose one more map, they lose the final, and the crowd is going mental in front of them. And somewhere they manage to muster up the strength to win the next game, and it goes to 4-1. And then 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, and it's down to the wire once more in a Game 9, and I don't really know how they did it, to be honest, but Rocket actually managed to win it. They pulled off the reverse sweep 5-4. My chat was going absolutely crazy. I was going crazy. I was rooting for Rocket, co-streaming that game. It was just, like, so mind-blowing to watch, and with the crowd celebrating and everything, it was glorious. So that was the culmination of the stages and the majors, right? And so from all of that, the league standings were finalized, and these are the teams that managed to make it through to playoffs. You've got FaZe and Ultra both in the upper winners bracket, and then you've got Empire, Optic, NYSL, and Rocker in the lower losers bracket, and then in the eliminations bracket, you've got the Thieves and the Mutineers. That means the Surge, Ravens, Gorillas, and Paris Legion all ended up not making it. Better luck next year, guys. But the best thing about this is that for the teams that did make it, it's actually impossible to definitively say who's going to win playoffs and then go on to win Champs itself. You might think it's going to be FaZe, but FaZe bowed out instantly in the previous major. What if another underdog run happens, like with Rocker in Major 5, and they go on to win the entire thing? Optics had a bit of a shaky year, but they started to really perform in Major 5, and especially with the Green Wall cheering them on in person, that's going to really lift their spirits, surely. So maybe they'll put in a really good performance and end up in the finals. Perhaps we'll see a similar thing happen with the Thieves and the Mutineers. No matter what happens, though, I think that it's going to be a really exciting weekend at the Galen Center where it's all happening, and hopefully this gives you a flavor of the sort of story so far and has also prepared you for what's to come. Also, pro tip for those of you that aren't attending playoffs in person and are just going to watch it from home, like me, is you can earn exclusive in-game rewards like this beautiful XM4 by simply linking your Activision account to the CDL YouTube channel. To do this, just follow the instructions in the rewards link in the description of this video, and it'll walk you through it all. The CDL YouTube's link down there as well, so you've got everything you could possibly need, and you can tune into playoffs hassle-free and earn rewards while you do it. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And then, of course, for the finals, I'll be co-streaming it right here on my YouTube channel, so if you want to flex your newfound CDL knowledge, that would be a pretty good place and time to do it, eh? So be sure to swing by my channel on the day, bring some popcorn, and we can enjoy watching some historic COD matches together. Hopefully I'll see you there, guys, and hopefully this has been useful. Bye for now.